Top 10 Most Underrated Animes. Arifureta. From commonplace to world's strongest, Hajime Nagumo is an ordinary high school student who, along with his entire class, is summoned to another world to become heroes. While everyone else receives powerful abilities, Hajime gets the seemingly useless power to transmute materials. During a dungeon raid, Hajime is betrayed by one of his classmates and falls deep into the abyss, where almost nobody survives. At first, he's weak, starving, and constantly hunted by monsters. But after being pushed to his limit, Hajime does the impossible. He defeats a monster, consumes its flesh, and gains incredible strength. He begins transforming himself from the weakest student into an unstoppable fighter, creating powerful weapons with his transmutation ability. Deep inside the dungeon, Hajime meets Yue, a powerful vampire who has been imprisoned for centuries. After freeing her, the two become allies and begin their journey to escape the abyss. Along the way, they gain new companions, battle powerful enemies, and uncover secrets about the world they were summoned to. Now, Hajime isn't the weak kid everyone underestimated. He's one of the strongest people alive, and he's coming back to show everyone exactly what happens when you betray the wrong person. Moriarty, the Patriot. In 19th century England, society is ruled by a corrupt class system where nobles can get away with almost anything, while ordinary people suffer. William James Moriarty is a brilliant genius who hates this unfair world. After being adopted into the Moriarty family alongside his brothers Albert and Louis, William creates a plan to destroy England's corrupt aristocracy from within. Using his intelligence, William becomes a professor by day, but secretly acts as a criminal mastermind by night. Instead of committing crimes for money, Moriarty targets corrupt nobles who abuse their power, carefully creating plans that expose their cruelty and bring them down. But his growing reputation eventually attracts the attention of another genius, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock quickly realizes that someone is manipulating events from the shadows, and the two begin an intense battle of intelligence. As Moriarty continues his mission, he becomes known as the Lord of Crime, willing to become a villain if it means creating a better world. But with Sherlock closing in and the government becoming suspicious, Moriarty's perfect plan begins to fall apart. Now, the world's greatest detective must stop the world's most dangerous criminal. But the question is, who's actually fighting for justice? Astra lost in space. In the year 2063, space travel is completely normal, and 9 students are sent on a school trip to a distant planet. But moments after they arrive, a mysterious glowing sphere suddenly appears and sucks them into deep space. When they wake up, the group discovers they're thousands of light years away from home, floating beside an abandoned spaceship. With no way to call for help, they decide to work together and travel from planet to planet, searching for food and supplies as they make their way back home. But the journey isn't easy. Every planet is filled with new dangers, strange environments, and secrets that test their friendship. Then things get even crazier when the group realizes someone among them may be sabotaging their mission. As they continue traveling through space, they uncover shocking secrets about their families, their identities, and even the world they thought they knew. What started as a simple school trip becomes a massive journey across the galaxy, filled with betrayal, mystery, and unbelievable plot twists. But if they can survive the journey and uncover the truth, these 9 strangers might finally find their way back home. And when they do, they'll discover that home was never what they thought it was. Heavenly Delusion. In a post-apocalyptic Japan, mysterious creatures have destroyed civilization, leaving the outside world dangerous and abandoned. The story follows Maru, a boy searching for a mysterious place called Heaven, and Kiruko, his skilled protector and guide. Meanwhile, inside a secluded facility, a group of children are raised in what appears to be a perfect world. They have no idea what exists beyond its walls, but 2 of them begin questioning where they really are. As Maru and Kiruko travel through the ruined world, they encounter monsters known as Hiruko, while slowly uncovering clues connecting Maru to the mysterious facility. The biggest mystery is simple. What happened to the world? And is heaven really somewhere worth finding? That's why Heavenly Delusion is one of the most mysterious and underrated anime out there. The case study of Vanitas. In a world where vampires are cursed by mysterious books called grimoires, a human named Noé Archiviste travels to Paris, searching for the legendary book of Vanitas Instead, he meets Vanitas, a mysterious human who claims he can cure cursed vampires using the very book everyone fears. Together, they travel across 19th century Paris, saving vampires whose true names have been corrupted and fighting enemies connected to Vanitas' dark past. But Vanitas is hiding more than he admits, while Noé slowly discovers that the battle between humans and vampires is far more complicated than it seems. The case study of Vanitas is a stylish supernatural mystery filled with vampires, curses, secrets, and some seriously underrated animation. ID Invaded. Imagine being able to enter the mind of a serial killer in a future where investigators can use advanced technology to explore a criminal's subconscious. Former detective Akihito Narihisago becomes their most valuable weapon. But there's one problem. Narihisago is also a criminal. Using a system called Mizu Hanome, investigators enter strange mental worlds known as id wells. Each world is built from the thoughts and memories of a killer, and solving its mysteries can reveal the identity of their next victim, or even the killer themselves. Inside these worlds, Narihisago takes on the identity of the brilliant detective Sakaido. Every case begins the same way. He wakes up with no memory of who he is, surrounded by impossible clues, and discovers a murdered version of a mysterious girl named Keru. But as Sakaido solves more cases, a much bigger mystery begins to appear. Someone known as John Walker seems to be connected to nearly every killer they investigate. Meanwhile, outside the ID wells, the police race to uncover who is manipulating these criminals and why. As Narihisago dives deeper into the minds of murderers, the line between reality and the subconscious starts to disappear. And the deeper he goes, the more he is forced to confront his own tragic past. What starts as a futuristic detective anime slowly turns into a mind-bending mystery filled with serial killers, psychological puzzles, alternate realities, and shocking twists. By the end, Narihisago discovers that catching the killer isn't the hardest part. It's escaping the mind. If you want a dark, intelligent mystery that feels completely different from most anime, ID Invaded is seriously underrated. Dororo, imagine being born with almost nothing. Before Hyakimaru was even born, his father, a powerful samurai lord, made a deal with demons to gain prosperity for his land. In exchange, the demons took parts of his unborn son's body. Hyakimaru was born unable to see, hear, speak, or even properly feel the world around him. Believing the child to be cursed, his father abandoned him. But Hyakimaru survived. He was found by a kind man who created artificial body parts for him and raised him as his own. As Hyakimaru grew older, he discovered something incredible. Every time he defeated one of the demons that had stolen from him, he regained a part of his body. During his journey, he meets a young thief named Dororo, and the two become unlikely companions. Together, they travel across war-torn Japan, fighting demons and searching for the creatures responsible for Hyakimaru's suffering. But as Hyakimaru gets closer to becoming whole again, he discovers a terrible truth. The demon's deal helped his father's land prosper. So if Hyakimaru takes back what was stolen from him, the people living there could lose everything. Now he faces an impossible question. Should he reclaim the life that was stolen from him, even if it means destroying the peace everyone else depends on? Dororo is a dark, emotional journey about revenge, humanity, and what it truly means to be human. Magi, the kingdom of magic. After surviving their adventures in the mysterious dungeons, Aladdin, Alibaba, and Morgiana finally go their separate ways to become stronger. Aladdin travels to the legendary Magnostat Academy, a powerful nation built around magic. But he quickly discovers that not everything is as perfect as it seems. Magnostat treats magicians like the highest class of society, while people without magical abilities are forced to live in poverty and discrimination. Aladdin begins studying magic while secretly investigating the dark truth behind the country. Meanwhile, Alibaba travels to the Rame Empire to train and master his abilities, while Morgiana returns to her homeland to learn more about her past and her people. The finales. But the world is changing. The powerful Ko-Empire is expanding. Political tensions are growing, and mysterious forces are beginning to manipulate events from the shadows. Back in Magnostat, Aladdin discovers that its ruler, Matal Mogamet, is using forbidden magic powered by something known as Rook. His goal is to protect the oppressed people of Magnerstadt, but his methods slowly push the entire country toward destruction. Then everything changes when the powerful Elmatoran forces begin to appear. Aladdin learns more about the history of the world and discovers that humanity is trapped in a much larger conflict involving magic, destiny, and the mysterious force known as Il-Ila. As the situation in Magnerstadt gets worse, Aladdin reunites with Alibaba and Morgiana. But stopping the conflict won't be easy. Mogomed's hatred and desire to protect his people lead him to use increasingly dangerous power, while powerful magicians and warriors from across the world are drawn into the battle. Aladdin eventually realizes that the real enemy isn't simply one kingdom or one person. The entire world is being manipulated by forces that want humanity to fall deeper into despair. In the final battle, Aladdin and his friends fight to stop Magnerstadt from being completely destroyed. But even after the battle ends, the world is left forever changed. New alliances are formed. Powerful nations continue fighting for control, and the true secrets behind the world's magic are only beginning to be revealed. Magi, the kingdom of magic, takes the adventure from the first season and expands it into a massive story about war, discrimination, magic, destiny, and the fight to decide humanity's future. And that's why Magi is one of the most underrated fantasy anime out there. Summertime rendering. Imagine returning to your childhood island for a funeral, only to discover that your best friend might not actually be dead. Shinpei Ajiro returns to the small island of Hitogashima after hearing that his childhood friend, Ushio, drowned while trying to save a little girl. But something about her death doesn't feel right. Before Ushio died, she noticed mysterious marks on the girl's neck, marks that could mean she had been attacked. As Shinpei investigates, he discovers a terrifying secret hiding on the island. There are creatures known as shadows. These shadows can copy a person's appearance, memories, and personality. Once a shadow copies someone, the original person can be replaced without anyone realizing. And the worst part, Shinpei may already be surrounded by them. But before he can uncover the truth, disaster strikes. Shinpei is killed. Then suddenly, he wakes up. He's back at the moment he first arrived on the island. Shinpei realizes he has somehow gained the ability to travel back in time every time he dies. But there's a problem. Every loop brings him closer to the shadows, discovering his secret. Now Shinpei has to use everything he learns in each timeline to survive the next one. He teams up with Ushio's family and his childhood friends, slowly uncovering the history of the shadows and the mysterious entity controlling them. But the more Shinpei changes the future, the more dangerous the enemy becomes. Eventually, he discovers that Ushio isn't completely gone. A mysterious version of her exists as a shadow, but unlike the others, she's fighting to protect Shinpei. Together, they uncover a much larger plan involving the entire island. What begins as a murder mystery quickly turns into a race against time filled with time loops, monsters, betrayals, and impossible choices. And with every death, Shinpei gets another chance. But if he makes one mistake, this time, there might not be another loop. Summertime Rendering is an underrated thriller that combines mystery, horror, action, and time travel into one non-stop story that keeps getting crazier with every episode. 86. Imagine being sent to fight a war that your own country pretends doesn't exist. The Republic of San Magnolia is at war with an army of autonomous machines known as the Legion. But the Republic claims it has found a way to fight without losing a single human soldier. That's a lie. The people actually fighting and dying are known as the 86, a group of minorities stripped of their rights and forced to pilot dangerous machines called juggernauts. From a safe command center, officers known as handlers direct them into battle. But one handler is different. Vladilena Milize, also known as Lena, believes the 86 are human beings and refuses to treat them like disposable weapons. She becomes the new handler for a squadron called Spearhead, led by the calm and deadly Shinai Nuzan, also known as Shin. But Shin carries a terrifying burden. Because of his strange ability, he can hear the voices of the dead Legion, and every battlefield is filled with the screams of soldiers who never escaped. As Lena grows closer to Spearhead, she realizes how cruel the Republic truly is. The government sends the 86 on impossible missions, knowing that eventually, every squad will be wiped out. And Spearhead is next. Instead of surrendering, Shin and the remaining members decide to continue fighting beyond the Republic's borders. But Lena refuses to forget them. As the group journeys deeper into enemy territory, they discover that the Legion is far more dangerous than anyone imagined. The machines aren't simply killing humans. They're using human minds to become smarter. Now Shin and the others must survive a war where death can follow you forever. 86 is a brutal, emotional anime about war, discrimination, survival, and a group of soldiers fighting to prove that their lives actually matter. And if you want an anime with insane action, emotional characters, and one of the best stories in modern anime, 86 is seriously underrated.